Yo, this beat crazy.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Joshua Black coming to you once again with a brand new episode number. All right, so this episode we are going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to start taking some of the comments, bringing them onto the channel and talking about them. So this episode, we're going to talk about a comment that was made on a video that I did, like a very recent video. I made a comment talking about potatoes, and the comment was, well, I didn't make a comment. I made a statement about potatoes, the fact that I don't eat potatoes, but I was emphatic about it, like no potatoes. Now, so the commenter called me out and said, no potatoes? Why no potatoes? Potatoes are one, vegan. They are pretty healthy. It's a whole food. There's no cholesterol. There's no sodium. There's no fat, no saturated fat, no fat. And I was like, you know what? You are absolutely correct. I should have been very clear on why I don't do potatoes. Okay, so here we go. Let me explain. Now, as a former diabetic, when I was going through my transition, I was like, I need to cut out anything that's going to negatively affect my blood sugar. Potatoes were one of those things, were one of those foods. All potatoes, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, yams, all of them. I was like, I'm done. But let me explain why. Now, to understand, you gotta know a little bit about like glycemic index, which is basically the measurement of the carbohydrates that are within the food and how fast it assimilates into your blood. So every food has a rating. It just happens that white potatoes are high on the GI, the glycemic index, considered a high glycemic index food. So, of course, I cut it out. And I'm the type where I'm just gonna cut them all out. I was like, okay, don't eat that, right? So I had stopped eating all potatoes. Now, in my journey, which you will find through your journey, you start to find out information. Now, as I start to progress through my journey of veganism, I start to understand it just a little bit more, that all potatoes aren't equal. So you have white potatoes, sweet potatoes. Now, here's the difference. White potatoes, definitely high on the glycemic index. Why? Because they don't contain as much fiber as, say, a sweet potato. Now, let me say this. Now, both a white potato and sweet potato, they're pretty much close as far as nutritional value. The way it breaks down is that the sweet potato has a little bit more fiber than a white potato. The sweet potato has a little less calories than a white potato. Sweet potato has a lot more vitamin A than a white potato. But the main thing that really gets me, which makes the big difference, is that GI, that glycemic index. The fact that that white potato will shoot up my blood sugar much faster than that sweet potato. Now, let me say this, for those who just love white potatoes, there are ways that you can combat that. You know, what you can do is you can combine foods that are lower on the glycemic index, foods like, there's a ton of like low GI foods. I will list them all on my website, urbanblackvegan.com. I'm going to create a new link called nutrition. So I just wanted to come on and make this episode and start like responding to some comments and maybe share information that I share with the commenter, share with you guys, maybe that will be helpful to you all. So I just wanted to say, like, sweet potatoes versus white potatoes. All potatoes aren't equal. All potatoes aren't bad. And for the most part, yeah, eat your potatoes. But do me a favor, just be mindful, especially if you're diabetic or on the verge of being diabetic or know others who are diabetic. Just share this information with them because it may be helpful. It's probably information that they're just not aware of.